So here's what we've been waiting for. The 100-hour review on the Deus 2. I have 30 years experience metal detecting, and I've mastered many machines. And the Deus 2 is pretty amazing. It does have shortcomings, but we're trying to work those shortcomings out. Just a few little bugs. Not really anything major. Mostly preferences, you know, just the menus, they need to be changed a little bit to make it easier to dial in, right? Move menus around a little bit. But I think that the Deus 2 thrives in a lot of situations where other detectors are just going to completely fail, right? I have taken this detector in harsh conditions. I have about 100 hours of, little over 100 hours of in-field use and about 30 hours of bench testing against my other machines and against itself. So I know the menus fairly well, right? I haven't been testing the Equinox against, everybody wants to know how it performs against the Equinox and the Simplex. It smokes them. It's not better. It smokes the hell out of them. Big time. Especially on the bench tests, right? It's very evident. You know, I will start posting some of those videos here very shortly. But the reason why I haven't really done a lot of testing is because I want to learn the machine, learn the modes, learn the settings, learn the tones. The Deus XP Deus 1, XP Deus 2 are tonal machines. If you have like an Equinox 800 or a 600 or a three-tone machine, and every target you're looking at the numbers and you're not going by tones, you're looking at the numbers, you are going to struggle big time with the Deus 2. I can guarantee that. The Deus 2 and the Deus 1 are pretty much for everyday users, right? If you go like out once a week, or a couple, 3, 4, 5 times a month, or hunt like one full day a week, you're never gonna learn this machine, right? The Deus 2. I'm sorry. It's just a fact about it, right? There's a reason why a lot of guys out there are killing it with the Deus, because they have a lot of hours on it. It takes a lot of effort to learn this machine. It's taken me thousands of hours to learn the full tones operation, right? Deep full tones, hot program, and now I'm just delving into the pitch tones, right? With the Deus 1. And I'm learning that Deus 1 better because I'm using the Deus 2 in pitch tones. The Deus 2 does have the square tones option, which makes it a lot easier. I mean, it just has killed the spots that I beat up. I've gotten 6 rings with the Deus 2 so far in just 100 hours of use. Little over 2 weeks I've had the Deus 2. I've been in some really irony spots. I've been in some really hot soil. I've been in harsh conditions. I've been in EMI. And the Deus 2 doesn't struggle very much, right? It's really finicky. It's really finicky, those settings, you know. If you're running a simple machine like the Simplex or an Equinox, and I'm saying that those are simple machines because they're simple tones, right? Like I said, you want more tones in a machine. I was very skeptical about this Deus 2 before it was released, before I got it, and it's blown my freaking doors off, right? I have lots and lots and lots of videos that I have not posted yet, and a lot of killer finds, but I'm going to save those videos because I'm going to do some testing against these machines here for a few days and make a lot of videos and get my testing down right. Testing videos are really hard to make. If you have never tested machines out against each other, it can be really a struggle at times. And filming those tests is even more complicated, right? So if you have a Simplex and you say, "Oh, is it worth all that extra money, you know, should I get a Deus 1 or should I get a Deus 2? Well, think about it, right? How many hours does it take to learn a simplex? Not very many hours. It's a very simple machine. It doesn't have recovery speed. It doesn't have auto response. It doesn't have silencer, right? And they're very simple machines. Other machines are very simple. The Deus 2 is very complicated. If you don't have much experience in knowing what frequencies do on certain targets or on edge targets, you're going to struggle with this machine. It's going to take you years to learn this machine if you don't use it every day. And if you're hunting in the ocean, I'm sure or hunting on the salt water, I'm sure it's going to just it's going to rock people's world, right? I've seen the test videos and I've done tests myself in that program. I actually have a program that I've been developing, the sensitive beach program in the curb strips, and it just spanks targets out in pitch tones, right? In pitch square tones. And it's taken me so long to learn the pitch tones, right? I'm just now delving into the pitch tones, and it just slaughters places that I've beat to death with other detectors. I've been just smacking Wheaties and coins out of the really thick iron, right? And knowing how to adjust those settings, you know, like the audio response and the reactivity and the gain. I usually keep my detectors up, go pretty high in gain, even if it's high EMI. But I've noticed that the Deus 2 is super quiet in the curb strips with my certain settings in my soil. Everybody has different soil, so they're going to have a little bit different results. But if you don't know how to operate a Deus 1 machine, you're probably going to struggle big time with this machine, right? I have a lot of years experience, and I've field tested a lot of prototypes, and this machine here, it's a lot different than the Deus 1. But if you do have experience with the Deus 1, this machine is way worth the extra money. You know, a lot of people have been asking, you know, is it really worth all that money to have a machine like that? Well, it is, right? It has a 5-year warranty on it. I haven't seen very many videos of people breaking their Deus 1, right? And the Deus 2 has the same shaft and the same coil design, right? The same parts on the Deus 1 as the Deus 2. The remote, I haven't had it in water, and I don't want to get it in water. I'm going to have a different unit for that. I have another Deus 2 arriving here shortly for the water hunting use, because I want to keep this same update, version 6, because we know that you know, XP has in the past had a couple bugs in their firmware updates from like 3.2 and on with the Deus 1 to 5.2. You know, there are several updates that they have with that machine, and a lot of people said that the Deus 1 wasn't that great on those newer updates. They said, a lot of people have said that I've never used the 3.2 update, the 3.2 version on the Deus 1, but I would love to get my hands on one of those. But I think that the Deus 2 is an absolutely amazing machine for the money. It is very finicky, right? In certain sites, you know, you really have to know what those settings are going to do to each other. You know, coming from me, since I have thousands of hours on the Deus 1, I've learned this Deus 2 really fast because I've gotten past that learning curve. And the learning curve for the Deus, XP Deus, and the Deus 1 is huge, right? You are going to have nothing but struggles if you only swung 1 or 2 machines around. And like I said, if you're not an everyday hunter, the Deus 2 is probably not for you. I'm not trying to discourage you from purchasing an XP Deus 2, but there's a reality to this, right? This is a high-end, very complex machine that really there's not really that many settings on the machine, not that many menus, but those menus have a lot to do with each other. And once you start pushing those buttons, you get it you dial it out very fast, and then you don't know what you did. You have to do a lot of testing on machines. I test my machines daily. I am testing for at least 1 or 2 hours on all my machines. I even test my older machines on certain targets, right? So when I get out in the field, I know what to listen for. I know which buttons to push, and I know which settings to have for certain sites, right? I may make it look really easy smacking all these targets out. It's not easy, right? Even with any detector, right? And some of the sites that I hunt in, a lot of machines struggle, right? I have super hot soil, and I've never had a machine that's been so easily to dial in than the Deus 2. It thrives in my soil just at stock programs, in stock programs. I've never really had machines that do that, except for the simple machines. But those simple machines struggle in EMI and they struggle in iron. And the Deus 2 does not struggle in iron, man. It seems like it just cuts through my soil and it cuts through iron like butter, right? It's like a knife through butter, right? But I'm just gonna go out here in a couple minutes down the street. Hopefully this fog burns off here. And I'm gonna go down to that relic dump that I've been hunting on for the last few months. You know, I've been really hitting it hard. Just down the street from my house in the park. And I've been getting a lot of targets out with the Deus 2. Many, many more than the Deus 1. And the Deus 1, everybody knows, the Deus 1 is the best in the iron. No machine can perform better than the Deus 1 in iron. You know, you watch my videos comparing other machines to the Deus 1 in iron, there's just a huge difference, right? And there's just a little bit of difference between the Deus 1 and Deus 2 in iron. But that difference can mean a lot. It can mean a lot. And with the Deus 2, there's a lot of different programs, many more different programs that I haven't even experimented with, right? I haven't even tested much. It takes a lot of hours to learn a machine just in one setting, right? And the Deus 2 has 13 different programs, actually 12 different programs. And they have different filters on them. So you got to know really what filters you want to deal with, right? With other machines, a lot of other machines only have the different programs just have notching, right? And there's not much difference in filters between the different programs. But if you're thinking about getting a Deus 2, be prepared for a lot of learning, right? And I'm learning new stuff every hour because I hunt every day pretty much all day long. It's really cold this morning, so I'm probably gonna have to wear my coat. It's gonna be really good weather this next week and a half. We had a little bit of rain a few days ago, just for a couple days, and we had another whole week before that. That was beautiful sunny, the first week that I actually had my Deus 2. So I'm gonna head out in a couple minutes, go to that relic dump. There's a reality to this, right? This is a complex machine. And if you do get a Deus 2 and you struggle, just watch a lot of videos. My videos will help you out a lot, right? The different programs, the different settings, how they react to each other. And just go out there and hunt, you know. Testing, you can only do so much with testing on a bench, right? The best way to learn a machine is to get out in the environment that you're going to be using it in. Thank you for watching. Please subscribe.